The atmosphere in the lobby of an airport in Japan that morning was as usual, crowded, busy, filled with the sound of flight announcements and footsteps that never stopped. But among the crowd, two figures who are so known actually present different nuances. Park Jimin and Jimin Jungkook are seen sitting in the lobby area, waiting for something uncertain, the flight that will take them back to Korea. There is no excessive crowding around them. No flashy gestures are deliberately shown. Both chose to sit side by side in the airport seats, with suitcases neatly arranged on the side. Their appearance looks relaxed, but still reflects the distinctive style of each. Jimin with his soft aura is calm, while Jungkook looks a little more focused, occasionally checking his phone like he's making sure no details are missed. Time moves slower around them. Although the flight information screen is constantly changing, displaying alternating departure schedules, one thing that has not changed is the status of their trip. There is no indication yet when they will actually get on the plane. And it was precisely that uncertainty that created a different atmosphere, a lull in the middle of their long journey. Some passengers who were aware of their presence chose to keep their distance. There were admiring glances, there were quiet whispers, and yet no one dared to disturb too closely. The moment felt like a silent agreement between the public and the idol, making room, but still harboring admiration. Jimin was seen occasionally turning his head towards Jungkook, as if he wanted to confirm something without the need for many words. There is communication that is not heard but felt, an understanding shared only by those who have been through a lot together. Jungkook, on the other hand, looks more silent, but not in an empty sense. His gaze is occasionally directed forward, then back to his phone screen, then around, a small habit that shows he remains alert and aware of the situation around him. The suitcase next to them became a symbol of an unfinished journey. It is not only a physical journey from one country to another, but also an emotional journey that may be invisible to others. Japan is not just a stopover, but part of a series of stories they have lived in recent times. Interestingly, the atmosphere around them felt like it had two layers. On the one hand, there is the airport world full of activity, people rushing to catch up with time, and announcements that never stop. On the other hand, there was a small space where Jimin and Jungkook were, a space that felt quieter, slower, as if time was running at a different rhythm. That a witness said Jimin smiled slightly when he saw another passenger struggling with his luggage. The smile is simple, yet enough to reflect the warmth that has always characterized her. Jungkook also stood up for a moment, not to leave, but just to stretch before returning to sit in place. The question that then arises in the minds of many people is, when will they fly? But there is no definite answer. Even for themselves, perhaps this moment of waiting is part of a journey that must be lived without rushing in search of certainty. There was something interesting about the way they dealt with the wait. There were no signs of excessive anxiety, no expressions of frustration. On the contrary, there is a calm acceptance, as if they understand that not everything should go according to the desired schedule. A few minutes turned into tens of minutes, and the mood remained unchanged much. Jimin occasionally corrects his seating position, while Jungkook goes back to checking his phone, perhaps looking at schedule updates or simply killing time. But behind all this, there is a feeling that this moment is not just waiting for the plane. This is a pause, a space between two journeys, a time where they don't have to perform on stage, don't have to smile for the camera, don't have to be anything other than themselves. And perhaps precisely therein lies its beauty. In the midst of a world that is always moving fast, moments like this are rare. Two world stars sat quietly in the lobby space of the airport, waiting for an uncertain flight, while maintaining such a characteristic calmness. There were no flashes of lights, no music, no cheering, only the sounds of announcements and footsteps in the background. But for those who look deeper, this moment speaks volumes. About patience, about togetherness, and about how the journey is not always about the destination, but also about what happens between the starting and ending points. And as time finally moves toward the real moment of departure, one thing is certain. That airport lobby space in Japan has become a witness to a small story that will never really seem small to those who understand IT. As time went on, the atmosphere in the lobby of Japan Airport slowly underwent small changes that were almost imperceptible. Passengers come and go, Seats that were empty are filled again, then empty again. But between those dynamics, Park Jimin and John Jungkook remain in the same place, as if time around them is running at a different rhythm. There was one moment when the announcement sounded clearer than usual, making some passengers immediately stand up and prepare to head for the gate. Jimin and Jungkook had raised their heads almost simultaneously, paying attention to the information screen in the distance. But after a few seconds, they calmed down again, not their flight. That brief reaction instead reveals something human, a small hope that arises every time there is a possibility of moving forward. Jimin then seemed to take a slow breath, then leaned back more relaxed. His gaze turned towards the floor for a moment, before finally looking back to the front. Beside him, Jungkook twisted his seat slightly, one hand resting on the suitcase, as if he subconsciously wanted to make sure everything remained under control. Interestingly, the communication between them remained minimal words, but felt full of meaning. Every now and then Jimin said something in a low voice, and Jungkook responded with a light nod. No long conversations, no loud laughter, just simple interactions that show long-established closeness. One passenger sitting not far from them had time to steal a glance longer than the others, as if trying to make sure what he saw was true. But like everyone else, he chose not to bother. There was a kind of unspoken respect in the air, leaving the moment intact without intervention. Moments later, Jungkook looked at his phone again, this time a little longer. The expression remains flat, but there is a deeper focus. It might be a schedule update, it might be a message from the staff, or it might just be a way to fill time. Jimin briefly glanced at the screen, then looked back to the front, entrusting small details to Jungkook. At this point, their wait begins to feel like part of the story itself, rather than just a pause to go through. There was a calm that felt more and more natural, as if they had already accepted the rhythm of the day completely. There were no more signs of wanting to speed up time, quite the contrary. They seemed to be completely present in every running second. And amid it all, one question still hangs in the air. When will they actually fly? But perhaps, for the time being, the answer to the question will no longer be the most important thing. Because what matters more is how they live that moment of waiting, together, in silence, yet full of meaning. The airport lobby continues to be a witness, not only of the journey ahead, but also of the tranquility that is rarely seen behind a life that is always moving fast.